Well, friends, in the last episode, we set ourselves up perfectly. Sapiens defeated all competitors. Neanderthals disappeared. Denisovans dissolved into history, and the planet became our huge personal buffet. Just imagine this life. You work only 3 to 4 hours a day. Your work is a walk in the forest for mushrooms or hunting with friends. All the rest of the time, you chat, babysit children, sculpt figures from clay, and sleep. You know every bush in the forest, every path. You are a walking encyclopedia of nature. Your menu is richer than in a modern Michelin-starred restaurant. Dozens of types of berries, roots, antelope meat, fish, nuts. Your body receives all the vitamins in the world. You are tall, slender, and, if a lion doesn't eat you, surprisingly healthy. But about 12,000 years ago, we believed a beautiful fairy tale. The climate warmed up. In the Middle East, endless golden fields of wild wheat began to sway. We looked at them and thought, listen, why run around the forest for food and risk our lives? Let's just settle here, next to the food. We'll build a house, and food will grow right at our doorstep. Sounds like a genius startup, right? Minimum effort, maximum result. We thought that we tamed the wheat. We thought that we were the masters of the situation. But it seems this was the longest and trickiest scam in history. The wheat outsmarted us. Let's face the truth. Wheat is quite a character. This isn't your low-maintenance plantain. This is a real, capricious princess of the plant world, who demands round-the-clock attention. First she declared, "I don't like stones." And our ancestors, grunting, began hauling heavy boulders, clearing the fields. Then she said, "I want to drink." And we started digging canals and hauling buckets under the scorching sun until our arms fell off. Then she capriciously added, "The neighbors are choking me." And we spent hours crawling on our knees, pulling out weeds, rubbing our skin raw. And then came the bugs, the rabbits, and the locusts. And man had to become a security guard, standing watch by the field for days on end. Our bodies were in shock. Millions of years of evolution sharpened us for something else. We were created to climb trees, run sprints after a gazelle, and throw spears. Our skeleton was not designed to stand in the shape of the letter L for 12 hours a day. Archaeologists who dig up the skeletons of the first farmers see a terrible picture. Twisted spines, hernias, worn-out kneecaps, neck arthritis. Women suffered the most. You know why? Because grain isn't enough to just grow. It needs to be turned into flour. Imagine, you are kneeling, and for hours you rub one heavy stone against another, grinding the grains. Stone dust gets into the flour, then into the bread, and then grinds your teeth down to the root. We became shorter. The average hunter was a head taller than the average peasant. We became sickly. But we endured. We looked at the full barns and believed that we were building a well-fed future for our children. You might ask, were our ancestors really stupid? If your back hurts and your teeth are falling out, why not drop the hoe and go back to the forest? Why not say, you know what, guys? This experiment failed. I'm going for mushrooms. Because the trap of comfort slammed shut. You can't run around the forest with 10 children, but in a warm house? Please, go ahead. There became many of us, very many. Tight quarters, but no complaints. And when we looked back, we realized there is no way back. The forest simply could not feed such a crowd. We burned the bridges and stayed to live in the villages. We exchanged a fun but dangerous freedom for hard but stable work. Oh, if only someone knew back then what this would turn into. But wheat was only half the trouble. We decided that it was boring to live alone and invited friends over. We looked at wild goats, pigs, and cows and thought, Why run after food in the forest if food can live with us? We turned proud wild beasts into living canned food that is always at hand. But, as they say, fear your desires. The food moved in with us and brought its luggage along. Welcome to the first communal apartment in history. Imagine a typical Neolithic loft. It is one room without windows. In the middle, a hearth is smoking. Here sleeps you, your wife, 5 children, grandfather, and also, a cow is chewing hay here, a pig is grunting, and chickens are clucking. The concept of personal space simply did not exist. If a goat wanted to sleep at your feet, she slept at your feet. We started breathing the same air, drinking from the same source, and sharing everything we had. And right here, nature played a cruel joke on us. Our new neighbors brought us gifts that we didn't ask for. Microbes. For viruses, such a cramped, warm hut full of people and animals became a real, all-inclusive resort. Smallpox jumped to us from camels and cows. Flu flew in from ducks and pigs. Measles, tuberculosis, these are not just diseases. This is the price we paid for milk and bacon. While we were proud drifters, it was difficult for viruses. Well, one hunter got sick in the forest. Sad, but the tribe moves on. The virus hit a dead end. But in the village? Oh, in the village, a real holiday began for microbes. It was enough for one person to sneeze, for the whole street to collapse. We started getting sick like never before. Infant mortality skyrocketed. A farmer's life became a short race for survival. But do you know why we didn't go extinct? Because our superpower worked. Farmers died more often than hunters, but they also gave birth twice as fast. It was a crazy biological race. Diseases mowed us down in rows, and we restored the rows even faster. We became weaker individually, but as a species, we became simply indestructible. However, the most amazing changes happened not in our lungs and stomachs, but in our heads. The agrarian revolution changed the very psychology of man. A word appeared that hunters did not know and did not understand. The word, mine. A hunter has no property. His assets are what he can carry in his hands. A spear, a skin, beads. What is the point of hoarding food if it rots in 2 days? Therefore, hunters shared easily. Today I got lucky, I will feed you. Tomorrow you get lucky, you will feed me. This was the best insurance. But for a farmer, everything is different. He has a house, which you can't carry away, a field, which you can't hide, and a barn with grain for a rainy day. And this barn became the center of the universe. Man began to tremble over his goods. This is mine grain. I broke my back over it all summer. Don't you dare touch it. And where there is accumulated wealth, there always appear those who want to take it away. Before, clashes between people were like a fight in a bar, made some noise and went home. Now, a real war began. Villages started building walls. First, a wattle fence against boars, then a palisade against thieves, then impregnable stone walls against armies of invaders. Look at Jericho, some of the first walls in history. They were not built against nature, they were built against people. We learned to fear our own kind. And of course, effective managers appeared. In any tribe, there was always the cunning one who said, "Guys, let's do this. You will plow, and I will guard your barn. Well, and take a small commission for myself. Let's say 10%. This is how taxes were born. This is how kings, officials, and the elite were born. For the first time in history, humanity divided. Even our gods changed. When you are a hunter, you live in the world of spirits. You negotiate with the forest. You ask for forgiveness from the killed deer. You are a part of nature, not its master. We started building huge temples. We started bringing sacrifices. Dear sky, here is the best lamb for you. Here is a basket of select grain. Please, do not kill us with hunger this year. We created gods in our own image and likeness, formidable, domineering, demanding submission and tribute. Like kings on earth, only on the clouds. So, what is the result? Did we lose? Did we fall into slavery to wheat, microbes, and kings? From the point of view of evolution, this is an absolute victory. There were a few million of us. We became 8 billion. We built pyramids and skyscrapers. We split the atom and went into space. We exchanged a wild, dangerous, but intoxicating freedom for safety. But sometimes, when we go out into nature, look at the sparks of a campfire, inhale the smell of the forest, and see the infinite starry sky overhead, the heart is squeezed by a strange, light longing for those times when this whole huge world was our home and not our property.